Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. I'm Eric and today we are watching episode 4 of season 5 of Supernatural. I'm excited. Last time was really good. Also at the same time really concerning, like really worrying, but it was really good I thought. Last time was the first episode of Sam and Dean living separate lives. First episode of I don't know how many. I doubt it will be very many. Maybe this one as well, and then in the next one, maybe episode 5, maybe they will get together again. Like, it might be longer. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see, but I don't think they can keep the show going without them together because I think it's going to be hard to think of what to do. Like, the previous episode illustrated very well why they need to be together. Like, Dean is fine. I mean, Dean is fine on his own. Sam, I don't know if he's as fine on his own. So last time, Dean and Castiel searched out Dean and wanted Dean to help him find Raphael, the Archangel, because Castiel was like not getting anywhere with the search for God, and he thought that if we get Raphael, maybe he can tell us and like help us in some way. We're gonna have to force him because he's not gonna want to help us, but yeah, that was the plan at least, and they managed. They managed pretty well. Unfortunately, they kind of pissed Raphael off as well, especially Castiel did. Dean is pretty safe since he's Michael's vessel, Mikael. But yeah, I wouldn't. If I was Castiel, I would be a bit concerned at least. Unfortunately, Raphael didn't really have anything to offer them. He said, like, God is dead. God is no more. Which, of course, in my mind begs the question of what killed God, because I don't think God just dies from like age or something. Also, if God is dead, that begs the question of who brought Castiel back. Like, Raphael floated the idea that it was Lucifer who did it, because Castiel believes that God resurrected him, brought him back to life when he was detonated by the Archangel at the end of season 4 when he at Chuck's place when Castiel sent Dean to where Sam was. Yeah. So like Castiel thinks it was God who put him back together. But if God is dead, he can't have done that. Raphael suggested that maybe it was Lucifer who did it. That begs the question in my mind, how would Lucifer be able to do that? And if Lucifer is able to do that, can't an angel do that, like another archangel do that? That presupposes that Lucifer is an archangel, but I think that's a pretty safe bet to make. And I don't know. Like, I think Lucifer goes about things very much solo. I don't think there's any chance that it's Lucifer who raised Castiel. That Raphael thinks that's an option makes me think that maybe there's there's more archangels, like maybe Mikael did it. I doubt that because I don't know, man. I don't know who brought Castiel back and why. I wonder if it probably will be relevant at some point. I don't know at this point, though. I have no idea. On the other side of the coin, we have Sam. Sam did okay. I was going to get to that. That's like from back when the start of the video. Like, Sam did okay. He didn't do great, though, on his own. He was beaten up by these hunters. There was a whole to-do apocalypse stuff was going on. And Sam called Bobby for help. A bunch of hunters showed up to deal with the case. It didn't go well, and they blamed Sam. They thought that Sam led them into a trap. I think that's what they thought, at least. And they came back with demon blood because they had captured one of the demons that killed one of them and forced it to talk. And it told them about Sam and all the things that was going on there. And I don't like that Sam just kind of like admitted that he caused the apocalypse. Like, or no. Yeah, I mean, he did cause the apocalypse. It's a tricky situation, I think. Yeah, I mean, he beat the hunters, but it came really close. It was dangerous. So yeah, I think that Sam needs Dean more than Dean needs Sam. Because Sam was having dreams. I feel I'm a bit discombobulated today. I don't know why. My brain just keeps jumping here and there. Sam was having dreams in the episode. He was seeing Jessica. Turned out it wasn't Jessica, and I was not surprised that it was not Jessica because it didn't seem like, and it was not dreams, or maybe it was dreams, but it didn't seem like something that came from Sam. It seemed like something external. that was causing it. And it was Lucifer who was whispering to Sam, because Sam is apparently Lucifer's actual vessel, which makes perfect sense. Because, you know, like Chuck pointed out in the first episode with Chuck, that was like, what, episode 18 of last season, that he feels bad about the things he put them through, like Jessica, all for the sake of literary symmetry. So it makes sense if Lucifer is an archangel, Michael is an archangel, they're brothers, and Dean is Michael's vessel, Michael's vessel, and Sam is Lucifer's vessel. Makes sense, you know? Apparently this guy Nick that Lucifer got is barely able to contain Lucifer, and Sam is like the vessel for Lucifer, in the same way that Dean is Michael's real proper vessel, you know. I don't know, I think Lucifer is right. He says that it's gonna happen, and I think it might happen, but Lucifer might get booted out. I don't know. He says that he doesn't lie, and I'm inclined at the moment at least to believe him. But of course, what he considers lies, like it depends on philosophy, you know, quite a bit. Anyways, I think I've rambled on quite enough, and it's time to get into the episode. As always, though, before we get started, I just want to mention the Patreon. On the Patreon, I do these episodes uncut. They're not edited down like here on YouTube. I'm also 3 to 4 weeks ahead, 6 to 8 episodes, somewhere around there. Probably more like 8 to 10, maybe. I don't know. 8 at least, shall we say. And yeah, link is in the description down below if you're interested. But with that said, let's get into episode 4 of season 5 of Supernatural. Here we go.
Hi, good evening, brothers. Your soul rapture ready? Thank you, Father. God bless.
Mine isn't.
Have you taken time out to think about God's plan for you?
Yes, we have. Quite a bit, actually.
Friggin' much, pal.
Yeah, and we don't like what God has planned for us. Or maybe not God, but the angels at least.
I didn't get that. That's kind of funny.
That's so cute.
Talking to a messenger of God on a cell phone.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny.
The voice says I'm almost out of minutes.
Okay, all right.
He's just standing in the middle of nowhere. It's funny.
Well, I hear differently. And if it's true, and if you are still set on the
It could be
insane
useful to
task
have.
of killing the devil, this is how we do it.
Okay.
I'll be there immediately.
Whoa. No, come on, man. I just drove like 16 hours straight. You pop in tomorrow morning.
Yes. I'll just wait here then.
Yeah, don't go anywhere else or do anything else. Just stand there and wait for 4 hours. Oh, crazy, man.
4:15. This is important.
Is this actually Sam, though?
So you're his vessel, huh?
Oh, it is actually Sam.
What are you looking for?
I don't know. A little panic, maybe?
Well, I guess I'm a little numb to the earth-shattering revelations at this point.
Yeah, he's had way too many of them. Oh, poor guy.
I'm gonna hunt him down, Dean.
Oh, so we're back to revenge then, aren't we? Yeah, because that worked out so well last time.
Not revenge.
He has a point.
I mean, it turns out that you and me were the fire and the oil of the Armageddon. You know, on that basis alone, we should just pick a hemisphere.
I don't know if do you actually believe that?
We're not stronger when we're together, Sam.
Yes, you are.
I think we're weaker.
No, dude. Like, you always get stuck in real problems. Or maybe you'll die, but yeah, I guess.
Gonna use it against us.
Yeah, they're gonna use it against you, but like, you won't be in a position where they can use it against you if you're not together, because you'll die way before that, you know?
Dean, don't do this.
Bye, Sam.
That hurt him. I think you woke up somewhere else. How long did you sleep? Where the heck are we? Might be in the same place or different time. It's angel nonsense again. Oh my. Because those are the two options. Either we've been transported in space or time. The end. I don't know about that. I think there's like 10 seasons more. This looks very post-apocalyptic. I like it. Closed for renovations. Those renovations, yeah, I don't think that's ever gonna open up again.
Little girl? Are you hurt?
I've seen this in zombie movies. Don't go near her, dude. Is anyone surprised? Oh, Croatoan. It doesn't narrow it down though. It might still be a different place. Or a different time. It's the... Holy moly. Come on, man. Where did you end up, Dean? I think it's... I think it's alternate universe, like alternate dimension, like as what the Trickster did, like 2014. So future, never mind. Croatoan virus hot zone. So future, or a possible future, at least, because I don't think this is going to happen. I think the point is that we're trying to avoid this happening. I'm guessing angels are behind this.
Croatoan pandemic reaches Australia.
There he is.
I thought I smelled your stink on this Back to the Future crap.
I agree.
And defense bombing of
Oh no, President Palin. Oh man, it's really bad in that case.
How did you find me?
human informants. We've been making inspirational visits to the fringier Christian groups.
Oh, the preacher on the street.
Send me back, you son of a bitch.
Oh, you'll get back. All in good time. We want you to marinate a bit.
Yeah, this is what is gonna happen if you don't accept.
This is what happens to the world if you continue to say no to Michael. Have a little look-see.
See, I am concerned about that. I'm concerned that Dean is gonna say yes because he's just like, he doesn't care all that much anymore.
Mommy, I'm coming in!
You think? This looks like Bobby is dead. Because there's a lot of spider webs and stuff. It's been this way for a long time. Yeah, bullet holes.
Where's everybody, Bobby?
Who knows? Dead. Most of them, I think. Oh! I've been wondering about that. It's been a long time since we saw the journal. They stashed it. Guess they don't really need it anymore. No!
Baby, no.
What's happened?
Baby, what did they do to you?
Is this? That's why the pan. Yeah, because it's Dean. I was gonna say, Dean, for this to happen, something must have radically changed Dean, or Dean is dead. But no, Dean is different.
What the hell? I should be asking that question, don't you think? Look, man. I'm no shapeshifter.
He shouldn't be hard to convince, though.
Was it you had every hidden lockpick, box cutter, and switchblade that I carry? Hey, you want to explain that?
Yeah, it should be really easy to explain. Angels.
Zachariah.
Yeah, that should be enough of an explanation.
If you're me, then tell me something only I would know.
You really need to play these games, dude. You've been tossed around through the years by angels before, Dean. You should not be that hard to convince.
She made us try on her panties. They were pink and satiny. And you know what?
Yeah, it felt good.
Touche.
Convinced.
Croatoan virus, right? Started hitting the major cities about 2 years ago. World really went in the crapper after that.
Yeah, I can imagine. Considering how many people live in cities.
Heavyweight showdown in Detroit. From what I understand, Sam didn't make it. You weren't with him? No.
Now remember, you wanted to go your separate ways.
I gotta run an errand. So yeah, you stay locked down.
This is
Okay, all right.
This is pretty awesome,
you don't
actually.
have to cuff me, man.
Yes, he does, because he knows you.
Dick.
This man. He is unstoppable.
Hi. So, listen, we're pretty good on canned goods for now, but we're down to next to nothing on perishables and hygiene supplies. People are not going to be happy about this.
Yeah, if you're out of toilet paper, then it's... fun is over.
Spent the night in Jane's cabin last night, didn't you?
What? Did I?
I thought we had a connection.
Dean is still a slut, apparently.
Cass, still here?
Yeah. I don't think Cass is going anywhere.
And what's happened to Cass?
In this way. A fragment.
I hear the music. Did he? Yeah, he turned to Eastern mysticism.
Dragonfly eye of group mind.
He became a hippie.
Ladies, I think I need to confer with our fearless leader for a minute. Why not go get washed up for the orgy?
Oh my word. This is a radically different Castiel.
Guess we gotta talk.
Whoa, strange.
What?
You. Or not you, not now you anyway.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Is it Zachariah?
Yes.
And of course it is. Who else? That jerk.
Just strap on your angel wings and fly me back to my page on the calendar.
Yeah, I don't think he has those anymore. He lost his grace.
What, you stoned?
Generally, yeah.
Generally, yeah. He became a properly fallen angel.
Watch out!
Was he infected? With Croatoan?
But believe me, when you need to know something, you will know it. Until then, we all have work to do.
I don't know, man. This Dean seems like an impressive leader.
I started seeing symptoms about a half an hour ago. Wasn't gonna be long before he flipped. Right, look. No, you look. This isn't your time, it's mine. You don't make the decisions, I do.
Zachariah said 3 days, so we just gotta hold on.
This has been a really wacky weekend.
No
Tell me
joke.
about it.
Ew, you got the cold, huh?
Cold?
Like, I'm confused by this obsession on the cult. It kills everything we've encountered so far, but you don't know that it will kill an angel, much less an archangel. Kills evil.
Tonight, I'm gonna kill the devil.
Lucifer might be evil, but he's an angel. Like, he doesn't count as a monster. You know, I don't know.
And apparently, we and Risa have a connection.
I like this version of Cass. He's become a proper sinner like the rest of us.
So a demon tells you where Satan's going to be, and you just believe it?
Oh, trust me. He wasn't lying.
And you know this how?
Because he's a very good torturer.
Also, we're torturing again.
I mean, it was a demon. Still.
What? I like past you.
Me too. I like current you as well. I like future you, Castiel.
Yeah, you say my plan is reckless?
If you don't like reckless, I could use insouciant maybe.
Are you coming?
I don't know what that word means. I'm gonna have to Google that word, I think. Insouciant.
We'll get the grunts moving.
We're loaded and on the road by midnight.
Alrighty.
I want to know what's going on.
Me too, actually.
Yeah, okay.
Or I mean, it's the end times.
I want you to see our brother, Sam. I thought he was dead.
I think he is dead. He's Lucifer now.
Sam didn't die in Detroit. He said yes.
So there is no more Sam. There is only Lucifer.
Lucifer's wearing him to the prom.
That's the same thing that past Dean said.
And we've got to kill him, Dean.
Yeah, you gotta shoot your brother.
Zach said he was going to bring you back, right? To 09? Yeah. When you get back home,
Yeah, you say yes to Michael.
you say yes.
Here's my contention. This isn't actually the future. This is just what Zachariah has cooked up. So this is just expertly designed in order to make Dean think that he needs to say yes.
I've shouted yes till I was blue in the face. The angels aren't listening. They just left, gave up. I'm begging you. Say yes.
I like this. It's a really good episode. Not funny, not in the slightest, but it's really good.
Some free advice? You ever get back there? You hoard toilet paper. You understand me? Hoard it. Hoard it like it's made of gold. Because it is.
Yeah, like I said, when the toilet paper goes, ooh, all bets are off.
You want some?
Amphetamines?
Oh,
Perfect antidote to that absinthe. What's going on?
he overcorrected in the other direction. If you're gonna sin, why not sin properly?
I think it had something to do with the other angels leaving, but
Oh,
bailed. My mojo just kind of drained away.
oh.
Why the hell not bury myself in women in decadence? Right? Sand, baby? That's what decadence is for.
Yeah. I mean, he's not wrong.
Second floor window, we go in there. They'll never see us coming. You're lying to these people and to me. See, I know your lying expressions. I've seen them in the mirror.
Yeah, it's hard to... Or no, actually, it's pretty easy to lie to yourself.
Take a look around you, man. This place should be white hot with Croats. Where are they?
Oh, it's a trap. I see.
They're the decoys. You and me, we're going into the back.
He's gotten quite ruthless in these years.
You're making decisions that I would never make. I wouldn't sacrifice my friends. You're right. You wouldn't. It's one of the main reasons we're in this mess, actually. I'm not gonna let you. Really? Yeah.
That didn't end well. But I think it needed to happen because you can't like have action scenes and stuff with both Deans. That's gonna be way too hard to film, you know? There he is. Oh, show me.
Hello, Dean.
Come on, zoom out. I want to see the outfit. Nice little smile. I bet he's gonna look really good in white.
Well, go ahead. Kill me.
Kill you?
No, he just did.
Don't you think that would be a little redundant?
Yeah, go back in time. I'll kill you when you get here eventually.
It must be painful speaking to me in this shape.
Yeah, it looks good in white.
What do you think I'm going to do?
We deep fry the planet?
Why would I want to destroy this stunning thing? The last perfect handiwork of God.
Well, I mean, have you seen what's going on lately? Or maybe that's the plan. Get rid of the humans because we're the ones screwing up the planet. You know? Maybe that's the thing.
You know why God cast me down? Because I loved him.
Too much. Yeah.
More than...
We've heard this already, dude. Come with something else.
I said these human beings were flawed.
I mean...
6 billion of you have done to this thing. And how many of you blame me for it?
It's hard to disagree with him at this point.
I know what you are. The same brand of cockroach I've been squashing my whole life. The only difference between them and you is the size of your ego.
Oh, that was a great line. Oh, Dean is so awesome, man. Sam is awesome too, but I prefer Dean a bit more, I have to say.
You better kill me now, or I swear I will find a way to kill you.
I know you won't say yes to Michael either. And I know you won't kill Sam.
Yeah, that's all the things he's counting on.
We will always end up here.
I don't think you're right, my friend.
See you in 5 years, Dean.
There you go.
You saw it, right? You saw what happens. You're the only person who can prove the devil wrong.
We saw what you wanted us to see.
How do I know that this whole thing isn't one of your tricks?
Thank you! That's what I've been saying.
Say yes, and we can strike.
Don't say yes. He might. He might say yes, but I don't think yet. In that case, that's for the big showdown. Like at the end of the season.
Nah.
So stubborn.
I got you now, boy, and I'm never letting you.
Was that Castiel?
That's pretty nice timing, Cass.
We had an appointment.
Don't ever change.
Oh, come on.
What are you doing?
Something I should have done in the first place.
Yeah, you calling Sam? The big mistake was splitting up. That can't have been your only takeaway, right?
Sam?
Sammy boy.
You won't back in. You should hang on to this. I'm sure you're rusty.
Yeah, you need it more than I do. I mean, he hasn't been out that long, dude, I don't think.
What made you change your mind?
Long story.
We're not gonna go into it.
Maybe they'll find a way to use us against each other. I don't know. I just know we're all we've got.
Yeah, you're not wrong there, dude.
We keep each other human.
Ah, yeah, that's a good point.
I won't let you down.
Oh, I know it. And you are the second best hunter on the planet.
Yeah, we all know who's the best. Which is not a slight against Sam being like number 2 out of I don't know how many thousand. Pretty darn good. But yeah, we all know who's number 1. Okay, that was episode 4. That was actually surprisingly fan-friggin-tastic. I think that my main takeaway from this is that we're not going to see Croatoan again. Because if they started using Croatoan 3 years ago, or 3 years ago, and in the future, and that was 5 years into the future, then they started using Croatoan 2 years from now. And I don't think this season is going to last that long, you know? I think this season lasts like for a year or something along those lines. Like that's how I see things anyways. Like that one season on TV is 1 year in the show. That may be wrong, but I don't know. That's how I see it. And so that means that because this is the season and it was conceived as a 5-season storyline, and this is the 5th and final season, which means that by the end of this, we are going to have stopped Lucifer somehow. And if this takes place during 1 year and they start using Croatoan 2 years from now, we'll never get to that point. So we won't see Croatoan again, I don't think at least. Which is a bit of a shame, because I really enjoy, like, both the episode with Croatoan and this episode had very much a like zombie apocalypse kind of vibe. And I really enjoy that kind of vibe. But we've gotten 2 episodes of that, and I think that's fine. We also had that same kind of zombie apocalypse vibe in the episode 2 of this season with War. So, like, they have other ways to get to that sort of setting, you know? Other than that, I think the big thing here is that, like, the question of, was this what actually is going to happen in 5 years if you continue on your current path? Or is this just something, was this just something that the angels, specifically Zachariah, cooked up, you know? Because we know that they can send you back in time to witness things as they occurred, as in the case with Dean when Castiel sent him back to see what happened with his parents. But they can also alter reality, as Zachariah did with the office building, that he altered their memories, he changed them. So they have like, yeah, because if they can alter your memories, which is a physical property, they can alter other physical properties. So they can show you basically what they want to show you. They can show you basically a movie. Make you live a movie, kind of. So we don't know if this is what's actually going to occur in 5 years, or if it's just, yeah, something that Zachariah made up in order to make as convincing a case as possible for Dean to accept Michael as his angel, as become his vessel. Good lord, that was hard to get out. I don't know why. And no retakes. Not doing that over again, because I can't even remember what the heck I said. Anyways, this was a really good episode. I really enjoy and appreciate the aesthetic. It was great seeing Castiel going full on degenerate. That was awesome. Going Eastern mysticism like Tantra, or I don't even know what that kind of religion he was, what the stuff he was preaching was, with orgies and stuff. Yeah, that was awesome. Orgies and drugs. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, essentially. I also enjoy Dean and Dean, because Dean knows himself, so like their interactions. I also thought they did that fairly well. Like, it was pretty obvious that in some of it was fairly obvious that it was like movie trickery, but at the same time it was fairly convincing. Because I don't know, like, I'm guessing that you like superimpose, like you have a camera on a rig, so to make sure you get the same shot, and then you like film twice and cut it together so it looks like one picture. So one dean says lines to empty space, or maybe they have like a dummy or something there that he can act to, and then they move in and take the other dean, like, so the other perspective, and they do it all over again. I don't know how they did it, but something like that, and it looked fairly convincing. Sam looked fantastic in white. That was awesome. And I like I don't know, this Lucifer, like, I always find Lucifer, like the devil as a character, interesting. And this fleshes him out further in a way that's very satisfying to me, because now I completely buy him as a character. I completely buy his motivations and so on. Because, like, God said, here, I made this new thing. It's called humans, and love them. And Lucifer's like, no, I prefer God. God said, no, love these people. Love humans. They're my pride and joy. And Lucifer's like, no. And, I mean, it's hard to argue with Lucifer there. Like, we are messing up the planet in a big way. And this, it makes me think of something from The Matrix, which I mean, I still remember so vividly. Like, the first time I saw it was in my tiny village cinema. Like, when it came out, it was, I don't know, when was it, 99 or something like that? It's over 20 years ago, at least. I was pretty young. I was like 14 or something like that. And what Agent Smith says to Morpheus there, that, like, every animal on the planet tries to seek out like a balance with the environment. They try to live in harmony, but humans don't. We move to an area, and then we multiply and consume every resource until everything is spent, and then we move on to a different area and repeat. Humans are a virus, Agent Smith says, and we, referring to them as the machines, we are the cure to this virus. And I mean, considering our track record, like considering what we're doing to the planet, then it's hard to argue with that. So Lucifer being upset at like what we're doing to this God's perfect creation, this planet, I completely buy that. Because we humans, we get very focused on ourselves, that humans are what matters. So like climate change, for instance, is going to kill so many things. It's going to wipe out so many species. And if we don't get it under control, it's probably going to wipe out humanity too. Fairly doom and gloom. But like, there's a good chance, because it's, when you alter ecosystems, like small changes can have massive effects down the line. Like we get what, like 2/3, 70% or something like that of our oxygen from the ocean. And if we kill the ocean, then we'll all die. And we're making good progress on that with like killing coral reefs and like eradicating species, like things going extinct and stuff. Like we might, I don't know, maybe I'm being too dramatic, or maybe I'm not, I don't know. But the point is that Earth will be fine. Other species will pop up, and like there will come a new dominant species. Like humans aren't the be all end all of life on Earth. Like we're here for a short while, we're gonna disappear eventually, and something else will take its place, and so on until the Earth goes boom and supernova. There's been many like different mass extinctions, and like at one point the dinosaurs ruled the Earth, and that cycle is just going to keep repeating. We care because we're here right now, you know, but I don't know. So Lucifer has a lot of valid points, but as Dean put it, like, what about the people who get stuck in the middle? The people who has to pay the price for this. Sucks for them. Sucks for us, you know. Like you and me, we're probably going to be fine, but 1 or 2 or 3 generations down the line, what's going to happen then? Like I might see the effects in a big way of climate change during my lifetime, but people born 20 years from now, what are their lives going to be like if we don't radically change the way we act? So yeah, I really like this Lucifer. He's interesting, and the points he brings up are very interesting to me. Anyways, I think I've rambled on for quite enough, so with that, I'm done for today. I thank you very, very much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, however, do take care of yourselves and peace out.